Hi, this is Emily Deaton, and you're listening to my friend Matthew Shapiro's podcast, Six Wheels Consulting and Disability.
Nice.
Welcome to the Sixth Wheels Consulting Podcast, dialoguing disability and discussing difference, inclusion, and all abilities in today's world. Now here are your hosts, Matthew Shapiro and Bob Nolly.
Here are your hosts. I'm just like the co-host. Here's your host, my friend Matthew Shapiro. Matthew, how are you?
I'm great, Bob. Good to hear your voice, sir.
Oh, thank you. Your lips to God's ears, baby. I got to tell you. Thank you very much. So we just got together recently, and I'm sure folks that listened to the last episode are just as exhausted as you are from all the work you do, and I hope you made them feel guilty and going out to take action on whatever cause they have.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to get into more detail on, because this is just not unusual, but I mean, it was a great one, I think. You're doing some consulting work, and that probably doesn't do it justice, with an architectural firm, and I think that Baskervill is their name, and you're working on the Supreme Court of Virginia?
Yes. So I am super excited to be getting into the architectural space in more detail. And my biggest project, to your point, is this great work that I'm doing with Baskervill Architects as we are working to rebuild the Supreme Court building of Virginia. We are in the beginning stages of crafting renderings and doing site mapping and all that kind of stuff. And I'm super excited because I will get to see how an architectural process goes from beginning to end, essentially. And I'll be in this project, I'll be serving as the disability inclusion and accessibility expert on the team. That is a team of about 40 people, if not more, to work on this very important project for the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Well, congratulations
couldn't be
on
more
that.
excited.
Yeah, that is something to be excited about. Did you seek them out, or I bet you they found you?
So they found me, actually. I was contacted by somebody that puts teams together and helps to put proposals together. I have had a pre-existing relationship with Baskerville, and I had submitted a proposal with them in the past, and so they know my reputation. They know my views on disability and inclusion, and they know my work ethic. So this was just another opportunity to come around, and they wanted me on the team, and we're now off to the races. So it's been a good relationship so far.
So what does that work look like? Are you in the meetings with them already? How far along is the project from your perspective?
We're kind of in the infancy stages. We've had a couple of meetings, and I'm not needed for every aspect of the project. You know, I go in on certain elements of the meetings, and you know, think about again, just disability inclusion. I think, you know, it is slated to be probably about a 4 to 6 year process. And so I won't be needed that entire time. You know, I'll come in at chunks and at different times as things are being developed and offer insights from a disability inclusion standpoint. Be it drawings, or be it when we have a physical space to start being able to work through. And so, yeah, I'm gonna jump in on different meetings at different times, and you know, again, get to learn about how the architectural process really works, because truthfully, the architectural process is definitely a pocket of work that I want to get more involved with. It is an area that, one, to be blunt and honest, pays really well, and two, you know, I could become an expert on how do we make spaces more accessible and inclusive all the way around.
Yeah, that's a great line item for your list of accomplishments, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about it, and truthfully, I have some other things in the pipeline, potentially nothing I can talk about in detail, but there's another project outstanding that we're waiting to hear back on, not with Baskerville, but with another architect firm, and then I'm doing some other work with Baskerville with another organization called Plan RVA, just doing some basic work with them as they are getting ready to move into a new office space. So just really getting involved in that architectural space. Had some other architect firms reach out to me also. So making a good impact there.
Well done. Well done. And for folks that do not know the area, and probably for folks that do as well, what's the site of the new building?
It's going to basically be where the current Pocahontas building is, or I think we're only using one annex. Like we're using the west side of the Pocahontas building. It'll be right across from the Capitol, and basically it'll hold the Supreme Court and the circuit courts and all of the all of the personnel that go with that. So it's going to be within that Capitol Square that everyone knows and loves.
Oh, right there on Capitol Square. That's good to know. So as you take this on, and you should be flattered about this, and I know you are, and you look at the work that they're taking on, what are some of the key points, the key things you want to be darn sure that get done here?
Yeah, I mean, we want to make sure that all areas of the space are accessible and inclusive to all. We're going to have a learning center. We're going to have accessible chambers, accessible restrooms, hopefully some family style restroom, some family restrooms that will be present, and just make it so that anyone can, without barrier, freely access the new building and have some guidance on where some of the accessible features are and how they can most comfortably navigate that space.
I know this is important because there are times when somebody has to go to the court building, whether it's the current court building or it's the U.S. District Court building. And if you're not an attorney or a clerk or a justice or somebody that's on the staff there, just going to that building is intimidating.
Yes.
Going there is intimidating. And if you come as part of the disability community and have struggles to get it, that whole posture of accessibility and that sense of justice has to be impacted.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you don't know if a courtroom is accessible. You don't know if there's handicapped seating in a courtroom, and with the Supreme Court, you don't really have jurors or anything because obviously the Supreme Court of Virginia is the Supreme Court of Virginia.
That's right.
It's
they need no help. They need no help.
It's the last court. It's the highest court in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and so there are different elements of things that you have to think about with that space. Obviously, also in a traditional courthouse setting, I'm thinking about jury boxes. I'm thinking about witness stands, different things like that to make sure that those are accessible so somebody could access them if they needed to. But in the Supreme Court, like I said, it's slightly different because you don't have some of those elements.
That's true. Well, that just sounds like a real, not a cream puff, but a crown jewel in the opportunities that you have lined up right now. And I couldn't be more pleased for you, and I couldn't say it's more well-deserved. Thank you. Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
No, it's definitely a big-time project for me.
All right, everyone, we'll let that be the last word. We will see you next time on the Six Wheels Consulting Disability Podcast. Until then, the conclusion, keep rolling. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.